Welcome back to another episode in this How to Sell Your Car mini-series. Last time I showed you how to prepare your car in order to achieve the best sale price. If you haven't seen that video, there's a link in the description so you can check it out. Now that the hard work of preparing your car is done, it's time to market it. In this video, I'll give you a series of tips, tricks and techniques to help you effectively photograph and promote your car for sale. In this part, we're going to focus on the best and most effective ways to display your car to potential buyers, from photography through to the best way to describe your car and how to choose a sale price. As mentioned in the last video, these are the steps I recommend if you're looking to achieve the best possible sale price for your car in a crowded market. This video is going to go into some in-depth details that are often overlooked. First up, let's talk about photography. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a professional photographer for this bit. In fact, I'll be using my smartphone to take the pictures used in this demonstration, and so I'm sure you can do the same. There are several elements to capturing quality, engaging pictures of your car, the first of which is setting the backdrop to your pictures. Try to avoid a background that washes out the colour of your car. For example, look how this BMW looks a little lost in this setting with the amount of grey in the picture, from the gravel to the gate. This is a bad setting. Instead, find a location that enhances the look, feel and colours of your car. See how much better the BMW looks on this cream gravel with grass in the foreground and green foliage in the backdrop. Once you've found the perfect location for your photos, it's time to move on to the next element, the setup. The first thing I like to do is make sure the wheels are straight. This helps to give a clear view of your wheels and creates a much cleaner look for your pictures. The next part of the setup is seat positioning. Make sure both front seats are symmetrically aligned and almost as far back as they'll go. This not only makes for a much more aesthetically pleasing interior shot, but it also helps shots from the outside. You heard me talk about the importance of subliminal mind games when advertising a car in the last video. Well, this is the sort of thing I meant. In addition to this, be sure to close all pockets and stow cup holders before you take your pictures. This also gives a much cleaner look to the interior. Whilst we're on the subject of interior photography, I want to touch on the importance of wide-angle shots. If your camera is capable of taking wide-angle pictures, utilise this when capturing the interior to maximise what you're showing buyers. The final tip I have when photographing interiors is this. Always keep those front seats positioned far back when photographing the outside of the car and any frontal interior shots. When photographing the rear seats, slide the fronts forward to allow the camera to see the maximum amount of rear cabin space. Once done, be sure to return the front seats back to their original far back position. The next element of photography is angles. In order to capture the best pictures of your car, it helps to have the sun behind you. To make this possible, you'll most likely need to reposition your car a few times during the shoot in order to keep a consistent lighting angle whilst capturing different elements of the car. When taking pictures of the outside of your car, it's important to make the car fill the shot. Unless you're taking a wider shot to give context to the car in a beautiful surrounding, these wider shots make for great lead pictures in an online advert. The final thing to consider when photographing your car is content. I like to break this down to 5 sectors. Exterior, consisting of 8 shots, front, rear, right side, left side and all 4 quarter angles. Interior, consisting of front of the cabin from both sides and rear of the cabin from both sides. Engine bay, load area and any details that you want to highlight, such as exhaust tips, limited edition serial numbers, etc. As touched on last time, many people won't even bother to read an advert if the pictures don't first grab their attention. We've covered how to create the right pictures, so now let's go through how to create an effective description when advertising your car. To do this, I want to share with you the formula that I have developed over the years that continues to serve me well when describing a car for sale. This is a 10-step process and I'll detail each step on the screen. Step 1 is the title of your advert. This is how people will find your listing. Be sure to not only include the make and model of your car here, but also any relevant keywords that might attract views. Fuel type, the amount of seats, full service history, these are all useful things to include, but you'll know which keywords are best for your car by looking at similar ones for sale. Step 2 is the intro. Use this first part of the description to give a quick, punchy 1 or 2 lines about what the viewer is looking at, i.e. what the car is, its year, MOT, expiry date, etc. Think of this as your elevator pitch. Get the info out quickly and without too much fluff. Step 3, about you. Give some details about yourself, such as how long you've owned the car, why you're selling and how happy you've been with the car. This helps to give the ad some colour. Step 4, overview of the car. This is where you can go into more detail about the car itself. Here, you should list things such as mileage, spec, any modifications and anything that makes the car special. Step 5, service history details. Use this section to detail the service history of the car, being sure to include highlights from the service history, such as any major interval services done, any drive belts changed, brake servicing, etc. You can also mention how long till the next service is due if it's still a way off. This helps to reassure buyers. Step 6, condition of the outside. Give an honest but upbeat description of the condition of the exterior of your car. Don't dwell on the negatives, but be sure to mention them so that anyone who comes to view the car won't be disappointed if they find any detracting factors. Be sure to highlight the positives and the most attractive features of the exterior. Step 7. Condition of the inside. As before, give an honest but upbeat description of the condition of the interior of your car. Don't dwell on the negatives, but be sure to mention any detracting points. Be sure to mention any positive factors. Step 8. Driving experience. Describe the overall driving experience of the car. How is the gearbox? Are there any odd noises during driving? How do the brakes feel? Does the engine feel willing and powerful? Does the car use any fluids excessively or drop them on the floor? Is the car a good starter? All of these factors will be questions any potential buyer may have, so it's best to answer them at this stage before they are asked. A seller with nothing to hide is an honest seller. Step 9. Any known issues. Outside of the areas mentioned above, are there any known issues with the car? If so, mention them here. Never finish on this section though, as anything described here may stay on a buyer's mind and stain their impression of your car. Instead, be sure to finish with a few positive points about the car, the things that you feel really sell it. Step 10. How to get in touch and arrange a viewing. We want people to get in touch, so be sure to give a few options here. Don't just rely on the contact form of the website you're using to promote your car. Instead, give 1 or even 2 telephone numbers if possible, as well as an email address if the website you're using allows it. And that's it, the 10-step formula that will help you to create an informative, attractive, and most importantly, motivating sales advert. Now we move on to the final and possibly most divisive step in this guide, how to set a sale price. I'll start by saying that wherever you are in the world, there are various price guides available that will claim to give you a book value of your car, depending on its approximate age, mileage and condition. However, these guides have become less and less relevant in recent years, so allow me to give you what I have found to be the best method for setting a price. Take some time to look at other comparable cars advertised for sale, preferably locally, as these will be your direct competition when your ad goes live. Get to know the current market and what is available and for how much. This will inevitably throw up a range of prices from low to high. Given that you have put in the work to make sure your car is going to be one of the better ones available, it's safe to say that it will better any like-for-like example in terms of its presentation, and that is what will give your car the edge. For this reason, you can be confident that your car can comfortably sit at the higher end of the price range of comparable cars. When you've chosen what price to advertise your car at, the next thing to do is decide on your bottom line price ahead of any viewings. Bear in mind, people who want to view will always want to make an offer, so decide what, if any amount, you'll be willing to take off for the right buyer in order to make a sale. Note, the right buyer is a motivated buyer with the money who can proceed straight away. Keep this figure in mind during any viewing of your car and stick to it come time for negotiation. And that's it for this guide on how to sell your car. If this video has helped you out, please give it a like, and if you want to see more fresh car related content, consider subscribing to the channel. See you on the next one.